The sharp crack of a hand against skin echoed through the dining room like a gunshot, freezing everyone mid-bite. The sting bloomed across my cheek, hot and immediate, but I didn't flinch. Instead, I met his eyes, those cold, calculating eyes that had fooled my mother for years, and smiled. It was a small, deliberate curve of my lips, the kind that said, "Got you." The wine glasses he'd just clinked in a mocking toast still vibrated on the table, the turkey steaming untouched between us. My stepfather, Victor Hale, pulled his hand back, his face twisting from smug triumph to confusion as he realized what he'd done. In front of witnesses. In front of the people I'd carefully positioned like pieces on a chessboard. "My name is Elena Voss, 34, a risk analyst at Pacific Crest Shipping in Seattle, Washington. I've spent my career spotting red flags in multi-million-dollar deals, the subtle discrepancies that scream trouble. But nothing prepared me for applying those skills to my own family, where the stakes weren't just money, but Lev's unraveling thread by thread. It started 2 years ago when Mom, Patricia, married Victor. He was a commercial real estate mogul from the East Side. All polished suits and promises of stability after Dad's sudden heart attack left her a widow with a modest inheritance. I kept my distance at first, living in my condo overlooking Puget Sound, single and focused on climbing the corporate ladder. No kids. No drama, that was my mantra. But cracks appeared early, like fault lines before an earthquake. Mom's retirement fund, built from Dad's life insurance, started dipping mysteriously. "Investments," she'd say over brunch, her voice too bright, too rehearsed. "Victor knows the market inside out." Then the paperwork piled up. Deeds, loans, forms she'd sign without reading. Her reading glasses conveniently misplaced. I'd visit and find them scattered on the kitchen island, Victor hovering like a vulture, pointing at dotted lines. My sister, Mia, 29, had just finished her graphic design degree and was crashing at Mom's while job hunting. Victor pulled her into his firm as an assistant, promising connections. But her calls to me grew frantic, whispered in bathrooms, "He's making me handle these weird transfers." "Elena, I don't understand half of it." Her once vibrant sketches gathered dust in the garage, replaced by spreadsheets and late nights. I tried talking to Mom during our rare walks along the waterfront. "Mia looks exhausted. She's learning the ropes." "Elena." Victor's giving her a real shot. But the words echoed Victor's tone, not hers, clipped, dismissive. I started piecing it together quietly. Screenshots of Mom's erratic bank alerts, photos of Mia's bruised wrists from clumsy office work, business filings for shell companies that led nowhere. My analyst training kicked in, patterns of evasion, trails of laundered cash. 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, Mom called, her voice thin over the line. "Dinner's going to be big this year. Victor's inviting partners. Make sure you're here?" I agreed, sensing the undercurrent. The next day, she asked for help with some online banking glitch. I arrived to find her staring at a home equity loan application, Victor's sticky notes flagging every signature spot. "It's for renovations," she murmured, but her eyes darted. "Mom, this pulls out $150,000. Where's it really going?" she faltered. "Victor has plans. Big opportunities." When Victor walked in, catching me scanning the docs, his charm cracked. "Elena, always poking around. Just family business. Nothing for an outsider." "She's not an outsider," I snapped. "She's your wife. And you're meddling in things you don't understand." His hand gripped the counter, knuckles white. "Back off, or you'll regret it." That night, alone in my condo with rain lashing the windows, I decided enough was enough. Victor was bleeding my family dry, And I wouldn't watch it happen. I reached out to a specialist, Rebecca Klein, an attorney known for dismantling financial abusers in the Pacific Northwest. Her office in downtown Seattle overlooked the ferries, a calm space amid chaos. She listened as I laid out the evidence, her expression hardening. This is classic coercive control, Elena, mixed with fraud. We can hit him from multiple angles: protective orders, civil suits, even tip-off authorities. But we need ironclad proof. Something public, witnessed. Thanksgiving, I said. He's staging it like a victory lap. Let's make it his downfall. The plan coalesced quickly. I'd invite Rebecca as an old colleague in town for the holiday. Then I contacted Jordan Hayes, a forensic auditor with ties to the IRS, someone I'd met at a conference. He'd reviewed anonymized files I'd sent. This screams money laundering through your company's contracts. Shell entities routing funds offshore. Unofficially. I can observe. Pose as a date for your cousin or something. The pieces fit. I set up discrete recorders. App on my phone disguised as a weather widget. A tiny device in a floral centerpiece. Everything uploaded to a secure cloud in real time. Digging deeper, I uncovered the gut punch. Victor had quietly shifted Mom's house into an LLC he controlled, prepping to strip the equity and let it foreclose. He wasn't just stealing, he was planning to vanish, leaving ruins. The day before, I slipped into Mom's house while they were out running errands. I upgraded the security cam with audio, hid mics in strategic spots, the dining room light fixture, under my usual chair. Rebecca and Jordan met me at a coffee shop near Pike Place, rehearsing over lattes. We'll steer conversation to finances naturally, Rebecca said. Let him dig his own grave. Jordan nodded. If he slips on the fraud, I've got probable cause to alert feds. That evening, as fog rolled in off the sound, I packed my bag, pie from the market, envelopes of duplicated evidence, and a resolve like steel. Victor wanted a show. He'd get one. Thanksgiving dawned crisp, the air smelling of pine and impending rain. I dressed sharp, blazer over jeans, professional edge hidden in casual layers. Arriving early, I found Mom in the kitchen, movements robotic as she basted the bird. Mia hovered, chopping veggies with forced focus. You good? I whispered to her. He had me sign more stuff yesterday. As a junior partner. Feels off. Hang tight, I said. Today changes everything. Victor emerged from his study, all booming voice and false warmth. Elena brought friends. I hear? Yeah. Rebecca from work. And Cousin Lena's bringing her new guy. Jordan. His eyes narrowed briefly. Fine. Fine. My partners are coming too. Big announcements. By afternoon, the house buzzed. Victor's partners, two burly types in ill-fitting suits, eyes scanning like predators, arrived with bottles of scotch. Rebecca slipped in seamlessly, hugging me like old times, whispering, all set. Jordan followed with my actual cousin, his posture screaming quiet authority. We settled at the table. Victor at the head, partners beside him, Mom to his right, shrinking, Mia next, Rebecca opposite the goons, Jordan at the foot, me facing Victor dead on. My purse with the envelopes at my feet. The turkey gleamed, but tension crackled like static. Victor raised his glass. To prosperity. And knowing who's really in charge. Clink, clink, clink. The toast hung heavy. Then he turned to me, smirking. So, Elena, still chasing ghosts in those shipping reports? Or ready for real business? The slow build began. Emotions simmering beneath the surface. Ready to erupt. Victor's knife sliced through the turkey with practiced ease. Portions landing on plates like conquered territory. The football game droned from the living room TV. A hollow attempt at normalcy. Rain pattered against the windows, mirroring the storm brewing inside. "This year's been golden for deals," he boasted, heaping mashed potatoes onto his plate. "Snagged prime waterfront lots in Bellevue. Permits pending." "Waterfront?" Rebecca asked casually, playing her part. "Thought those were protected wetlands." Victor's laugh was sharp. "Regulations are flexible when you know the right people. Cash opens doors history can't shut." His partner, the one with a tattoo peeking from his cuff, grunted approval. "Vic's a wizard at turning no into yes." Speaking of yes, Victor pivoted. "Eyes on Mia. How's that promotion treating you?" Mia's fork trembled.
"Fine.
"Learning a lot."
You should be."
Victor's tone edged harder. "Not everyone gets pulled from doodling to real work. Mia designs logos that could brand empires." I interjected, keeping my voice steady. But Victor waved it off. "Empires need capital, not crayons." Jordan cleared his throat, his auditor's instinct kicking in. "What line of work are you in exactly, Mr. Hale?" "Hale Pacific Ventures. Development. Consulting. Flipping assets." "Ever hear of Cascade Routing LLC?" Jordan probed lightly. "Saw it tied to some shipping contracts." Victor's smile froze. "Must be a mix-up." "Don't ring a bell." The conversation tiptoed around landmines. But Victor couldn't resist grandstanding. He leaned toward Mom, patting her hand possessively. "Patricia here's been a trooper with the paperwork. That equity line? Game changer for our future." Mom's eyes met mine. A flicker of doubt.
"It was a lot to sign. Necessary."
Victor cut in. "Trust me." I felt the pressure building. Slow and deliberate, like a kettle on low heat. Then he turned to me again. "Elena, you could learn from this. Your job's all rules and red tape. Real success bends them. Bending rules is how people end up audited." I said evenly. "Or worse." His partners chuckled, but Victor's face darkened. "Watch your mouth. This family's thriving because of me." "Thriving?" Mia whispered, voice cracking. "You got me forging." She stopped. But it was enough. Victor's hand slammed the table, rattling silverware. "What did you say?" "Nothing." Mia backpedaled. But the dam cracked. I pushed gently.
"Mia?"
"If something's wrong." Victor shot up. "Enough. This dinner's about gratitude, not interrogation. Sit down." "Victor," Mom pleaded, her voice small. But he loomed over the table,
pointing at me. "You."
Always stirring trouble. "Think you're smart with your spreadsheets? You're nothing." The air thickened, hearts pounding in the silence. Jordan's hand slipped to his pocket. "Ready." Rebecca's eyes signaled. "Steady." Victor grabbed my arm across the table. "Back off my business. Or let go," I said calmly, but he squeezed harder. "Or what? You'll tattle?" His face inches from mine, breath hot with wine. That's when I said it. The trigger, like how Cascade Routing siphoning from Pacific Crest, laundering through your shells. His eyes widened recognition. Rage. "You bitch." His hand flew back, then forward. The slap landed hard, my head snapping sideways. Gasps rippled around the table. Mom cried out, "Victor, what have you done?" He froze, realizing the witnesses. But it was too late. I touched my cheek, feeling the welt rise, and pulled the first envelope from my purse. "This is a civil fraud complaint, Victor, detailing how you've drained Mom's accounts, faked Mia's signatures, and embezzled from my company." Rebecca stood. "And I'm her attorney. We've got the evidence." Jordan rose too, badge flashing. IRS Forensic Auditor Hayes. Your operations are under federal scrutiny. Wire fraud. Tax evasion, the works. Victor's partners shifted uneasily. We didn't know about any of this. One muttered. Victor lunged for the envelope. But Jordan intercepted.
Sit down.
Mom stared. Horror dawning. Victor. Is this true? Misunderstanding. He roared. But his voice cracked. I pulled out my phone, hitting play on the recorder. His own words echoed. Regulations are flexible. Cash opens doors. The color drained from his face. You recorded me? Illegal. Rebecca smiled coldly. Washington states one-party consent. Perfectly legal. The room erupted then. The slow damming of emotions bursting free. Mom sobbed, piecing together years of manipulation. Mia stood, shouting, You used me. Forced me to lie. Victor's partners bolted for the door. But Jordan blocked them. You'll need to give statements. Outside. Sirens wailed. I'd texted a contact at Seattle PD during the build-up. Officers arrived within minutes. Badges gleaming under the chandelier. Assault in progress. I explained, showing the reddening mark. Witnesses corroborate. They cuffed Victor as he ranted. This is entrapment. I'll sue. But the officers read him his rights. Unmoved. Mom watched, tears streaming, as they led him away. How could I be so blind? We all were, I said, hugging her. But not anymore. Rebecca was already on her phone, filing the emergency restraining order. Approved in record time. Given the violence. No contact. No approaching within 500 feet. Mia retrieved a hidden folder from her room. More docs Victor had her safeguard. This proves everything, she said, handing it to Jordan. Ledgers. Transfers. Even offshore accounts. As the cops processed the scene, photographing my face, taking statements, the truth unfurled like a rotten tapestry. Victor had targeted Mom from the start, drawn by her inheritance. The house transfer? Fraudulent. The investments? Ponzi schemes. And the shipping fraud? Hundreds of thousands skimmed, funneled through dummies like Cascade. Jordan whistled. This ties to a bigger ring. Feds will love it. The partners spilled quickly, claiming ignorance but implicating Victor in shady deals. By evening, the house was a hive of activity, evidence bagged, timelines charted. Mom signed affidavits, each stroke reclaiming her agency. I'll divorce him tomorrow, she declared, and sell this place. Start fresh. We sat amid the chaos, piecing together a new beginning. The slap that started it all? It wasn't just pain, it was the catalyst. The explosion after years of simmering deceit. But as Victor was hauled into the squad car, rain slicking the driveway, I wondered, how many families suffer in silence? Blind to the predators at their table? The squad car's taillights faded into the rainy Seattle night, taking Victor Hale with them, a man reduced from tyrant to suspect in handcuffs. Inside, the dining room felt hollow, echoes of the confrontation lingering like smoke. Officers wrapped up their reports, flashing cameras on the scattered papers. My bruised cheek. The overturned chair where Victor had raged. Mom sat on the couch, clutching a mug of tea Mia had made, her face a map of betrayal and dawning relief. How long? She whispered. How long was he planning this? Jordan, coordinating with the arriving federal agents, answered gently. From the records, before your wedding, he scouted widows with assets. You weren't his first. Federal agents, two in crisp suits from the local FBI office, transformed the space into a command center. Special Agent Torres spread files on the cleared table, cross-referencing with Jordan's notes. This cascade routing? Links to interstate fraud. We've been tracking similar shells in Portland and San Francisco. Mia handed over her folder. Voice steady now. He made me courier these. Said it was routine. Torres scanned the ledgers. Jackpot. Handwritten confessions. Basically. Arrogance like his always leaves a trail. Rebecca worked her laptop, firing off filings. The protective order's active. House title freeze incoming. Can't touch the equity. And the banks. Accounts locked. Mom's eyes widened.
He took.
Everything? Not quite. I said, showing her the duplicates I'd compiled. We'll recover most through restitution. But it's the control he stole that's harder to fix. She nodded.
Tears falling.
I ignored the isolation. The accidents with Mia. The way he'd mock you both. We hugged. The three of us, Mia joining, a nod of resilience amid the storm. The agents grilled Victor's partners outside, under the porch light. Rain drummed as they distanced themselves. We thought the Bellevue lots were legit. The tattooed one insisted. Didn't know about the laundering. Torres pressed, but you saw the red flags? Silence. They'd cut deals for testimony. No doubt. Back inside. An agent dusted for prints on the docks. Routine for fraud cases. Your daughters work here? Torres asked Mom, nodding at me. Saved the day. More than that. Jordan added. Elena's analysis cracked the corporate angle. Pacific Crest will press charges too, embezzlement via bogus consulting fees. As evidence piled into boxes, phones, laptops, the hidden recorder I'd retrieved, Mom stood taller. I want to testify. Expose him. Rebecca smiled. Grand jury's next. With this, RICO charges stick. Racketeering. Conspiracy. Decades behind bars. Mia paced. Energy shifting from fear to fire. What about me? Those signatures, he coerced them. Victim. Not accomplice. Torres assured. Your recordings? Gold. She'd secretly taped meetings on her phone. Instincts mirroring mine. The night deepened. Rain easing to a drizzle. Neighbors peeked from windows. Drawn by the lights. One. Mrs. Alvarez from across the street. Knocked with a casserole. Saw the commotion. Thought you might need comfort food. Mom accepted. A small act of community piercing the isolation Victor had built. We ate in the kitchen, cold turkey sandwiches, pie, while agents wrapped up. Viral already? Mia said, showing her phone. Video of Victor's walk of shame. Comments ripping him apart. Delete it. Mom said firmly. He's not worth our time. She's right. I agreed. Focus on us. Rebecca outlined next steps. Divorce expedited. Counseling referrals. Financial audits. Sell the house. Move to something cozier. Near the water. Mia perked up. And my designs? I'll help relaunch your portfolio. I promised. Freelance gigs through my network. Agents departed with their haul. Torres leaving his card. Exceptional civilian work. Emis.
Voss.
Ever consider consulting for us? As quiet returned, we cleared the remnants. Broken glass. Spilled wine. Each sweep erasing Victor's mark. Mom paused at his study door. Burn it all?
No.
Evidence first. Then yes. We laughed. A release after the tension. But beneath, questions lingered. How does trust rebuild after such betrayal? What scars remain invisible? In bed later, cheek throbbing, I replayed the slap, not the pain, but the power shift. Victor's empire, built on lies, crumbled in one dinner. Yet the real victory was Mom's spark returning. Mia's dreams reigniting. Family wasn't blood or marriage. It was who fought when shadows fell.
And tonight.
We'd won the light back. Dawn broke gray over Seattle. The sound misty and still. as if the city held its breath after the storm. I woke in my old room at Mom's. Cheek a purple bloom, but resolve intact. Downstairs. Coffee brewed. Mom at the counter. Mia sketching idly on a napkin. Her first drawing in months, a phoenix rising from ashes.
Fitting.
We ate breakfast in quiet solidarity.
No ruse. No Victor looming.
Rebecca texted, divorce papers ready. Meet in my office? Jordan followed, feds raiding Victor's office. More shells uncovered. We drove downtown. Rain-slick streets reflecting skyscrapers. Rebecca's firm buzzed with purpose. Mom signed the petition. Each flourish a declaration of independence. Grounds, abuse.
Fraud.
Asset split? All hers. Given the crimes. The judge will fast-track, Rebecca said. Criminal ties help. Next. The bank. With orders in hand, we unfroze Mom's accounts. $80,000 recovered immediately. More pending seizures. Mia's employment dissolved, unemployment filed, but I lined up design interviews. Back home, we tackled Victor's study. Boxes for evidence. Trash for the rest. Shredded deals revealed more victims. Widows like Mom. Small businesses fleeced. Jordan arrived mid-afternoon. Updates in tow. Arraignment tomorrow. Bail denied, flight risk. His partners flipped. Detailing the ring. Bellevue lots. Ghost properties for washing cash. Mom listened. Anger replacing grief. He played me like a fool.
No.
Mia said. He preyed on trust. That's on him. Neighbors dropped by, flowers.
Cards.
Stories of Victor's off vibes. The community web tightened, isolating his memory. By evening, news broke locally. Real estate mogul busted in family fraud scheme. Victor's mugshot splashed online. Empire in tatters. We watched briefly, then turned it off. Not our story anymore. Weeks blurred. Court dates. Therapy sessions. Mom sold the house quickly, buying a cozy bungalow in Ballard. Views of the water. Space for Mia's studio. I helped pack. Unearthing Dad's old photos. Reminders of real love. Mia landed gigs. Her art flourishing.
Me?
Pacific Crest promoted me, head of fraud prevention. Irony sweet. Victor's trial loomed. Evidence mountain high. Our testimony sealed it. Mom's quiet strength. Mia's detailed accounts. My breakdowns of the schemes. He glared from the defense table. But power gone. Guilty on all counts, assault. Fraud. Laundering. Sentenced to 25 years. Assets liquidated for victims. We celebrated quietly, dinner at the bungalow. Toasting freedom. But echoes remained. The slap sting. Trust's fragility. How do you guard against hidden wolves? By watching. Listening. Fighting together. Years later. The scar on my cheek faded to a faint line. Visible only in certain light, a reminder of that Thanksgiving explosion. Mom thrived in her bungalow. Gardening. Volunteering at a women's shelter. Sharing her story to warn others. Mia's design firm boomed. Her work gracing billboards across Seattle.
Me?
I consulted for the feds occasionally, spotting patterns in bigger webs. But home was with them. Family redefined. Victor's appeals failed. Prison stripped his facade. Letters came once, pleading forgiveness. But we burned them unread. His downfall rippled, more victims surfaced. Lawsuits followed. A cautionary tale in financial circles. Yet questions haunted. What if I'd ignored the signs? How many suffer unseen abuse? Financial chains tighter than physical ones? In quiet moments, over coffee with Mom and Mia, we'd reflect, not on the pain, but the strength unearthed. That slap wasn't the end. It was the spark. Family bleeds, but heals stronger. And in America's underbelly of greed and control, vigilance is the true feast. What price trust? When betrayal sits at your table,